going to discuss the weekly astrology, and I'm going to take you from today. You've probably seen it on Monday, depending where you are in the world. It might be very early Tuesday morning, or it could be later Tuesday if you're in Australia. So let's see, last week's astrology we covered up until Tuesday the 7th, and I said I'll dive deeper into Tuesday this week. So we will be covering until about, we'll see, between the end of this week, like Monday, let's say it's Monday the 13th, between the 13th and 16th, there's not much happening. So a lot of it will be relevant from the 7th of March until around the 15th and 16th. So I will definitely do another weekly astrology. It'll probably be similar time, Monday, Tuesday, but it's likely that the main momentum of that week will be around the 16th. Now, if you're new to the channel, I'd love for you to subscribe. I do weekly astrology, channeled energy, themes for your signs that are different to the actual tarot reading and channeled messages that I do as a check-in, and I do have one scheduled for the elements coming up. I welcome you to check your March readings, and every couple of days there are messages for your signs as well. Now, when the structure for today will be going through the weekly. Now, there's two main themes that are going to be is the moon of Virgo moon, which you might have started feeling the energy, and Saturn in Pisces, and then I'll be going through the different days as well, but they're the main two major stuff, and they're coming on the same day. And then I will do elemental themes for the week that you may be feeling, taking you up until the 15th of March, like said. And Saturn in Pisces, I'll discuss it a little bit, and I will also upload it separately. Let's see, depending on how long this video goes, but in both they will be covered. If this resonates with you, or if it provides you guidance, I'd love for you to like and subscribe to the channel to help support the channel in what they're saying is a very tough algorithm. I'm seeing people with accounts of like hundreds of thousands, 800,000, saying they're struggling. So I can only imagine my newly started channel that's probably struggling as well, which I can see. Now, a couple of other notes. There will be timestamps, and as well as the elemental energy check-in for your signs. There's going to be affirmations as well, so that will probably be included in this one, relevant for the week ahead. So please do support the channel and support my energy, seeing as I don't only just read the astrology or tarot, I channel through energy. Now, going on to yesterday, I actually posted a short saying about Sunday. The moon was in Leo, opposing Saturn in Aquarius, and some of us might have felt fine, some of us might have actually felt a bit isolated, maybe a bit depressed. And that would have been the opposing aspect of it. So I just posted that as a quick short. I definitely was feeling it, and I'm already feeling the Virgo energy moon, energy of the moon, which gives you, it starts about 3 days before, so we're already in it, and 3 days after, and it will run up to, the energies run up to for around 10 to 14 days, 2 weeks. So today on Monday, the Sun sextile in Uranus in Taurus, okay? So the Sun sextile Uranus urges us to break away from our routine and do something interesting. You'll seek encounters that are enlightening and stimulating to you and your imagination. So the key here is to avoid circumstances where you feel restricted if you can. Obviously at work we can feel a bit restricted, but if you can avoid that, that's great. So that's that's Monday for you, the beginning of the week. Today, maybe as you're seeing it, or you're just passing through Monday, coming into Tuesday. You might even decide to learn new things, step out your comfort zone, start a new project. It's a great time to explore those, if you've especially been feeling stagnant. Then we move into the 7th, which we said is the full moon of Virgo, Sun in Pisces, and then Saturn moves out of Aquarius into Pisces for 2.5 years. Now, with the full moon in Virgo, what we're really thinking is, timestamp, Zaina. Okay, so what we're really thinking is grounding, releasing like normal new moons, full moons, which is releasing people, things, anything. And then you've got Pisces, which is very introspection. So you can imagine we've got Earth and we've got our inner introspection, subconscious side going on. Some of us will probably have vivid dreams. I've had some weird kind of things, yeah, I tend to do, but also sleep. Some of us might have affected sleep, some sleep more, some sleep less, so it really will depend. But if we look at in general about Virgo, the intentions around it is probably obviously believe in the impossible, connect to your intuition, improve a situation, release judgment, allow yourself to dream, see all the good, get the bag, do the work, get yourself space, give yourself space and get out of your own way, probably deep cleaning. The Virgo moon is called the worm moon, and it's named the time of the year where the ground, the worms, the earthworm begin to appear. We're starting into spring. Now is the time to prepare for your growth. You'll experience spring, take thoughtful action towards your dreams, is what we're coming into. It's not necessarily at this stage of Virgo, but that's why they call it the worm moon. Now, one second. Really create a safe place, and self-care and healing is a great idea during this time. And obviously anything that doesn't align with you, people, places, anything to do with that, it's time to release it. Virgo Pisces is like a healing axis of the zodiac, and feelings may come under this moon are being released to help you heal and set you free, which is where you might feel a bit heavy. It's not said to be a very heavy full moon because it seems to be one of the nicer ones, but it depends on how we all feel it. I truly believe that. Some things to consider is listening to your body. What is it telling you? What does it need? Does it need a different exercise? Does it need a different diet? Do you have something checked? Do you need to have something checked? Your connection with your physical state is going to be strong, and that's where, when Pisces in the sun, it also means our subconscious as well. Ease off perfectionism and structured nitty-gritty details of what needs to be done. Okay, you don't always need to have everything right all the time and together all the time. When you strive for perfectionism, it can lead to procrastination. It does. And then for me, it leads to anxiety. So I don't know if you're very similar. If you are, let me know in the comments. So ease off that feeling of needing to be a perfectionist or to do things perfectly. Don't be afraid to get things wrong under this full moon. You'll learn from your mistakes anyway. And allow the universe to surprise you. There's a very acute trine with Uranus, which can bring pleasant surprises and unexpected events as well. This trine from Uranus can send, let's say, blessing to us that we didn't really expect, but hopefully makes us smile, and hopefully receive that, please, Uranus. You can also think about, if your inner critic starts, maybe challenge that. Mars is, there's a square to Mars in Gemini. Mars is still in Gemini, and it can do a bit of mental chatter, you know, especially if the full moon is bringing anything that needs releasing, unhealed, that we're not really sure needs releasing. And so we just feel heavy energies, or we feel weird, whatever it is, then it means sometimes there's mental chatter that can go on. You can challenge those thoughts, challenge those, and channel them as well. It's great for writing, putting your thoughts on paper to see them in what they are really, as opposed to just thoughts. And have a clean and cleanse your space if you need to. If you're not really sure what to do with your energy, you can drink lots of water as well. Just maybe have a healthy day of eating that day, eat well, maybe have a bath, just some self-care, whatever that means to you. It's a good time to do it. And we also have Saturn in Pisces in the hours that follow the moon. The full moon Eastern Time US is at 7:42 a.m. GMT time, it's 12:42 p.m. so noon time. Gulf Standard Time, so the Middle East, is around 4:42 p.m. So there are 3 different time zones that will help you, because I'm sure we all know someone within those time zones that you can then navigate to find the time for your time zone. And when Saturn moves into Pisces, we have to learn to set better emotional boundaries, spiritual boundaries, and get grounded with the full moon, which is what's trying to do us. Because, you know, everyone says about the Pisces friend that's in dreamland is not here with us, etc. So the full moon kind of grounds that down for us, and let go of what needs to be released to call a new into a new life. So that's really what we're looking at with the full moon. Now, if you are looking at, if you would like some journal prompts around this full moon, like we said, there's a 2-week window. Let me know, and I'm happy to put some of those journal prompts into the comments box below. And like I said, always check the description boxes of the channel. Now, the next one, which we've just said, is Saturn into Pisces. This is going to be for 2.5 years, and I'm going to dive into also how it affects your signs, or the theme of your signs. I don't like to say effects, because it can be negative, it can be positive. But if you say effects, you might think negative straight away, you might think positive, depending on what you think. But the themes that might be relevant or shining a light on you. And ideally, you should check your rising and sun sign mainly. Have a glance at your moon sign and see if it's relevant for you. But rising sign is the main thing. And then you might want to check, when I say might, I advise, where is Saturn in your charts? What sign is it in? And what house is Pisces in your charts? Because then you've got your rising, you know what your Saturn is, you know where Pisces is in your charts, and you can put it together. Now, the reason I'm also going to upload this separately is for you to be able to come back to it, whether you come back to this timestamp or whether you come back to the full Saturn in Pisces video to discuss, to check the theme for your sign as well. Okay, so it's going to be in this, but there will be a deeper one for your, that will include for your sign as well. So Saturn in Pisces, very quickly, okay, in this one is going to be about rules, regulations, laws, mental health therapy. It's going to bring things that have been kept hidden from us in those areas to light. I'm a truth seeker. I'm very genuine. I'm very integrous. I don't like fake stuff. So for me, that's a good thing. But I know that there will be people that may be frightened of this. But if you've been operating in true, authentic self, then you don't need to fear. And if you're just a normal human who's going about your life, I'm talking about larger stuff. I'm talking about rules and regulations and laws, things that have been hidden from us that will come to light. I'm talking about those social media accounts where just talk a load of waffle and have got, I don't know, 1 million followers, and are just either regurgitating other people's content that are authentic. Have you ever known there's actually, for example, there'll be an influencer, or let's say a psychic, or anyone who's very well known, but you'll go to their different social media platforms or clientele. I'll take myself. If you look at the amount of clients I have in the different services, it's very not representing what I have on YouTube, because I started YouTube late, and a lot of people that started YouTube 5-8 years ago have the following. But if you look at the amount of clientele I have, that's quite huge. Or if you look at a different social media of someone, they might have like 1 million on Instagram. Maybe half of that is false or paid for when it was possible. And then on YouTube, maybe they have 1,000. And sometimes these individuals are very well knowledged, talented within their area, so their following doesn't necessarily represent who they are in every aspect of their platforms, in the world, in the delivery to their clients, in the clients' feedbacks. That's just a simple example. And so never judge in terms of what you see in one platform. I know that sometimes, and I'm going off a waffle here, but sometimes when we see someone with a little amount of followers, we think, they can't be the best in the field. It's actually quite wrong. There's a couple of people that I follow that, for example, there's a British psychic who's actually a medium who channels between spirits and the living and us and your past loved ones, and their following is, I think it was like 1,000, but on TikTok it's like 88k. And I didn't know that on TikTok until I actually saw a podcast, became aware of them, went on YouTube to see if there's anything that would be of interest or learning to me, and that's when I was a bit surprised. Or for example, I've been called to a page where I really connected to someone because I felt they were really authentic, and their following was at like 5,000 when someone else within the field was at a lot more. But for some reason I was called to this individual who knowing I can tap into truth of energy and people, this person was authentic. And so I did check some of their content, because, for example, they're not in tarot, they're not in energy, but even if somebody were to be in the same field of you and you navigate towards them and they don't have many followers, if they speak to you, and if you find out their stuff is credible, you don't have to follow what every sheep or the cattle or the crowd do, because that person will get somewhere. That person's not showing you everything of every platform, their clients, etc. maybe they've had to navigate different stuff, you know, so that's something around that. But like anyone who's putting out talent that is truly what they're not aware of doing is likely to get exposed. But larger scale of laws, regulations, it could even be around boundaries of travel and countries that come to light. Pisces, I said it last time, Pisces is about hidden, doesn't want boundaries, just wants to be, you know, left in their dreamland, left to connect to their higher self. Now, there will be stuff around mental health and therapy because Pisces rules that. So I'm really interested to see what gets exposed in terms of possible hidden things around mental health, mental institutions, and other stuff that I've mentioned. So it's going to be interesting to see that, because Saturn is the light bringer to those things, and Saturn's telling Pisces, no, you need boundaries and you need to go this way. So it's going to be interesting. It's not like Saturn in, for example, Capricorn, or Saturn that was in Aquarius. The false is going to be brought to light, and this will even be spirituality, because Pisces rules spirituality. So they're the elements in terms of Saturn in Pisces. Now, midweek, which will be the 8th of March, Wednesday, the moon enters Libra, so it moves out of Virgo, it goes into Libra, and Venus is in Aries, okay, which is perfect to focus on relationships, quality time for you and your partner, on both business and romantic fronts. Meet your needs, have a difficult discussion if you need to connect with one another. Just really, it's about relationships, romance, friendly, friends, social enthusiasm, coming into harmony of those relationships, basically. That's the 8th of March. Now, on Thursday, towards the end of the week, we have Juno in Taurus. And Juno in Taurus will be in Taurus until about early May. And what that means is relationships will have a focus on those that need to be deep, or that's what we'll be seeking. Deep, meaningful, sensual, long-lived relationships, stable, grounded, so the real stuff, you can say. Taurus is the grounding, Juno wants the reality, and if you're single, you know what you want and you're ready to receive it. And if you're in a relationship, it's like maybe you'll ask yourself, am I connecting greatly to this or not? Is this right for me? And maybe you let go of it. Maybe you're in a relationship or you're talking to somebody and you decide to think, okay, is this going anywhere? You know, are we going to go somewhere? Maybe you open that up, maybe they do. Are we actually going to make this official? Maybe your relationship is becoming stagnant and you're like, okay, it's time to change things, spice things up. Whatever it is during this time, it's going to be intentional relationships, which for me is hopefully what I'm going to say is more about authentic, genuine, like I said, long-lasted, true relationships, as opposed to, when I say true, it doesn't mean it's going to be your lifelong partner, because even sometimes when someone is the right thing for us, eventually we grow, the universe pushes us to grow, and if that person's not growing with you, you fall out of alignment. So, but what it is that we're not going to be in these flimsy, easygoing, let's just connect, I'm desperate to be with anyone, one night stands, this and that going on. It's pulling for a more not only grounded but solid, true, deep connections, sensual connections, which is lovely. Now, before we head into the weekend, we have the moon after Libra on the 10th. I think that is the weekend actually. The 10th, Friday. The moon will go into Scorpio. Now, last time the moon was in Scorpio, I actually did a little short. I felt it. You know, it wasn't something that any of the main astrologists were talking about. I looked up in the charts and I found that the moon was in Scorpio. So with the moon in Scorpio, this could mean deep, transformative, emotional feelings. And maybe you don't feel it. It's not a full moon, it's not a new moon, it's just passing through that sign. Another aspect I wanted to discuss before I go into Saturday and Sunday is that I've been talking about Chiron because it seems to be missed between all the weekly astrology. Chiron's been at play and Jupiter will be conjunct Chiron between the 9th to the 15th. So that week that we're covering right now. There's about spiritual awakening, leaving the past behind us, which is great because we want to release the past to move forward, ready for Aries season. Now, when we come to the weekend, Mercury squares Mars. Now, it's a perfect weekend to think outside the box, explore opportunities, do things that excite you. Make sure you break away from your normal routine or you may feel you are missing out. Okay. But what I also want to say, when there's a square with Mars, it doesn't get talked about a lot, but Mercury square with Mars, this could mean that if you're feeling a bit anxious, impulsive, just watch how you communicate, because that could be quite impulsive, harsh, because you're feeling quite anxious during that time. But overall, it's not a negative thing, so don't worry about it. So that's really about the astrology. Obviously, if we want to go a bit deeper, we've got on the 11th, we've got the waning gibbous moon in Scorpio as it's moving out, and that could be intense enthusiasm. That is Sunday. Then on Tuesday, I believe the 13th, we've got the moon will pass through Sagittarius. And that usually is a more bubbly, big ideas, adventures and happiness. Okay. And then I'll cover the moon movement further in our next astrology, but that gives you an idea of the moon movement and our week. So big days are Tuesday, and then you've got those little things that may come up that you might feel. Now around the Virgo full moon, obviously Virgo and Pisces will feel it the most, but if you have Sagittarius and Gemini quite heavy in your charts, you guys, all the mutable signs will feel this moon the most. I'd love to hear from you if you feel it. You might be feeling it already. You might feel it on the new moon, on the full moon day itself, and you might feel it up to the 2 weeks, like I said, where it can be significant. So next, what we are going to do is we're going to go into the elements, and this will be sort of themes for you this week that might come up. And like you know, I focus on channeling, focus on possibly more inner as opposed to external guidance during this time. So let's move on to now. Something not to forget is that we are closing off karmic cycles. It doesn't mean it's all of us. So we might be feeling that, and we are integrating the way forward. So it might be balancing the masculine and feminine energies. We're going to continue to feel that. I did mention Chiron conjunct Jupiter. It should be quite good. It's going to be karmic healing as well. But with all these energies, I really feel that abandonment issues may be coming up. So during this week, throat chakra, so during this week, if we suddenly feel that there are sensitive areas or triggers for us, it's the areas that we might need to heal. And that just, you know, sort of turns your day around to either feeling more sensitive, etc. That can happen this week. That's what I'm feeling strongly. Now, one of my favorite stuff that's happening, actually, before I move on to Mars sextile Venus, I mentioned in, I don't believe it's last week, it's the week before, Cancer in Pallas Athena, and that's still going, that's still an ongoing energy. So there might be energies around healing mother wounds, feminine energy. That is still going quite strong. The Mars square Neptune this week could make us feel, this is an important point, that's why I bring it up, it could make us feel a bit of shame, a bit of remorse about what we've done to people or what people have done to us. So another feeling or energy that might make you feel some kind of way. I'm just giving you them all. It doesn't necessarily mean that is going to happen. Aries is very strong at the moment, isn't it? And then we've got Aquarius as well, because it's the last degrees of Saturn in Aquarius. As you see this, you probably on the final hours of it moving into Pisces. So Aries might be an element to look out for where it is in your chart. If you don't know where it is in your chart, you want a natal chart reading, or you'd like some more understanding about yourself, or even your life purpose and direction, some coaching around that, I do provide that. I do also energy healing sessions, and depending where you are in the world, it will be online as opposed to in person. And those sessions are either video or phone, spoken sessions, or they are where we release blocks that way, or they are like Reiki infused sessions that we do. So the energy healing is very different. There's different options, sorry. Now, Venus sextile Mars is probably the nicest element. It's about sensuality. It's getting your flirt on. It's playful, sexual. If you're working on projects that are creative, it's great energy. Now this will actually be, although it starts playing out, it gets the strongest around the 11th, I believe. 11th, yeah. So that you might feel actually some kind of way around that day as well. Or maybe if you're lucky, you're feeling it more or less from the end of the week into the weekend, ready for Saturday and so on. So let me know how that plans out for you. So hopefully you've checked the Saturn in Pisces video that I did to really get to know the themes. Let's jump into the elements now, and I should put timestamps. We'll go to air. A lot of this is going to be channeled, not only as opposed to Page of Swords, as opposed to the tarot cards. Page of Cups, interesting. Page of Swords and Page of Cups. Page of Wands. Hermit. Wow. You've got 3 out of 4 pages here. So, So I'm feeling a lot of childlike energy around you. Or it could be more so you embodying this. When I say childlike, I don't mean like childlike, but a slightly less mature version of yourself. And I feel this is slightly in an avoidance reason. So you might be feeling that you are wanting to communicate something. You might be feeling you've got great ideas. You might be feeling that you want to offer your love, or somebody wants to offer their love to you. But there's a fear there that's making you hold back. There's some sort of I'm not sure if it's discontent, but it seems like you are, one second, let's get an advice card to make sure that I'm picking this up right. I feel you're quite scattered in stuff to avoid something that you know, Knight of Swords, that you know needs to go. That you are actually, when you stop around the Page of Wands, the Page of Swords and the Page of Cups energy, and you go into a little bit introspection to avoid whatever you're doing here with these pages, energy that you're in, to make that's kind of, you're avoiding the introspection of something. You know you need to, when I say rush, I don't mean rush, but you know there's an urgent something you're done with that has to go. It could be discontentment. Knight of Cups, this is weird. Knight of Swords, Knight of Cups. You had Page of Cups, Page of Swords, Page of Wands. The Moon. You're getting signs and clarity on this situation, but you need to sit back a little bit and receive those signs. Balance this sort of avoidance of, being active, talking a lot, being physically active, chasing stuff, because once you do that, you're going to get clarity and signs coming in for you where you will feel slightly more confident in delivering what you need to deliver, that you know has to go, and you're so done with it. So do you need to sleep more? Do you need to meditate? There's things that you need to release. What is it? And to get there, you need to balance this sort of physical, all this chatter, but you're putting it in physical stuff to keep yourself busy, where you need to go in a little bit, stop actioning, and sit back and see how the direction will come clear to you. And you know you will move from a page to the Knight of Swords. Justice. I'm not sure if I'm making sense here. What I'm saying is, just in case I'm not, I feel like I am, especially if you're an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, heavy placements. And by the way, these themes during the week may be relevant. You might relate to any of them during the week, so always revert back. And you can listen to them all and take which one really speaks out to you. Justice is required in this situation. This situation is something that you know you need to let go of and you're so done with. At the moment, you're using your energy in a way that you're fearful to actually move forward in all these directions, or one of them, whether it's a love, whether it's creative endeavors and ideas and initiatives that you have on something, whether it's around communication, it could be love and online dating. I think it's larger than that, okay? You're keeping yourself busy in this sort of level. You're needed to do some introspection to get the clarity you need. You are waffling in and out a little bit of the Knight of Swords and the Page of Cups, where you know something is so done, you need to let it go. You're over it. And that way, clarity is going to come to you. The direction that you need is going to come to you. The justice you need is going to come to you. You will come into a King of Cups energy as opposed to the Page energy once you do this. Once you get that guidance and direction from the universe, you'll be releasing what is causing you to feel this way. There might be a little bit of ego here, and there might be a little bit of, you know how we are brought up to believe a certain thing, or brought up to believe, maybe you've been brought up to believe you're not worthy of something. Release that. And also, I mentioned getting more sleep, calming your mind, introspection. Knight of Pentacles, I can't believe this reading. We didn't have the Page of Pentacles here, but we've got 3 pages, 3 knights. You've got 3 major arcanas. This is so interesting, more than an energy theme. I want to put on the card. All tied up. You're not happy with something, you need to release. You're so done with something. I also think 5 is significant, meaning you need to take that change. You need to do this to move in the direction that you need to move to release yourself. And like I said, this could also be to do with maybe where you've been brought up in a certain way to believe certain things of yourself, and then that's what's holding you back from speaking your truth. So air signs, you'll have to let me know. I'm being called to shuffle and then look at the bottom of the deck, so let's do that. Very interesting. Are we ready? Page of Pentacles. It was the page that was not out. We had the Page of Cups, the Page of Wands, and the Page of Swords. The Pentacles didn't come out. Yeah. Take some rest time. Sit back a bit. Less chasing. Less keeping yourself busy. And it will come to you. Interesting. Let's go on to earth signs. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Okay. Messages for Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Queen of Cups, Page of Wands, Knight of Cups. I want to shuffle again because I'm getting cards similar to the air signs. Let's shuffle again. You know, earth signs, I think there's two kind of energies here, but they're the same. Just one, some of you are at a second stage and some of you at the beginning stage. But the end is more or less, both stages are the same message, and you'll understand what I mean in a minute. Cards are really today. So you have been putting in the hard work. You have been looking after yourself. And you have been really focusing on inner healing and manifestation. Moving away from people that are not serving you. Some ego battles there possibly, some deceit, some lies, someone and people that have not been true to you. And there's a delivery of some form of emotional fulfillment. And I think this is actually just you healing and deciding you're not going to continue with these people who are deceitful and possibly it's just always back and forth arguments basically with whoever this is, okay? And you're deciding to play the bigger role and to move on, but to move on with less resentment, or to move on with knowing you have healed in terms of this is something that used to trigger me, that doesn't trigger me to react as much as it does. These people don't serve me, so you recognize the need to move on. You might have had a disagreement with them, a battle with them a few times, but you're like, I'm done with this, I'm over this. With the Seven of Pentacles, I feel this is actually hard work that you've put in yourself with the Nine of Pentacles. A lot of earth here. Focusing on yourself. And then the Magician. You've done some introspection. I feel like some of you, this is where those two messages I was saying, Queen of Cups is out. Death. So some of you have been working on yourself and sort of in a introspection mode on things that have come to an end or you've needed to end that has been a bit hurtful, to be honest with you, and possibly a bit stagnant in a way that you have felt like things are not moving in the right direction. Now, interestingly, number 8 could be significant. And we don't have the 8 of Pentacles here, but we have the 7 and 9. The Hierophant. You've been working on yourself, and what I feel with this is you're putting to an end people, family, society that's telling you need to live life a certain way, that you probably have different thoughts around something in individual for your own life, whether it's your work, whether it's love, whether it's whatever it is. You're putting an end to this. And that's where you've gone inside to really look at how you can move into the direction you want to move, creating that for you. This is you focusing on you, your health, your well-being, and this is you looking at the things that are around you in your environment and doing some inner reflection. So it's kind of like, I want to pull advice cards, but I know where I'm going with this. But don't listen to anyone. If you need to change or do something, this is telling you, you have it in you. You have the answers. The noise is going to cause more hiccups. And if you are feeling defeated with this Death card, by the way, the Death card and the Tower card is coming up a lot for readings. Check your March readings as well. I'm not saying it's there, but it is coming up. Because we're in that kind of energy. We're closing out stuff. So if you're feeling defeated and doors have closed, things have died off, stuff have gone, or you've had to actually do that if you've had people like this around you, or people that are, you know, just not aligned with you, where you need to set maybe boundaries, not necessarily just close off. If you're feeling a bit defeated, know that doors do open for you. This is what I mean. You're doing the inner sort of reflection work. Now, some of you, that is really good because you're healing. Some of you, you've actually healed to the point where you need to move forward. We're not all totally fully healed, but you've healed this situation. And now it's time for you to, so you've healed it and you've processed it, but it's time for you to let go and move forward. But you're kind of like holding on to this hurt, even though you've processed it. Even though, you know, you should be at more of peace of it, you're holding on to it, which is not giving you that peace of mind. Maybe you're questioning, are things going to work out? So some of you that are still kind of not done the processing of this and need the healing, your advice is to do some inner reflection, go inwards, some self-love, keep your heart open and focus on you. Some of you that have done this already and processed it, but it doesn't feel maybe that you have processed it, but you've been in this healing, there's a call for you to move forward now. Things will work out, but don't listen to people. It's kind of like finding the Aries within you, like the Queen of Cups is here, this, you know, this strong emotional person. The Nine of Pentacles, someone who has got everything in, you know, focused on themselves, on what they need, what they want, and they are achieving it with the, this is what I was waiting for, the Magician, the Empress. Now the Empress is Taurus, a bit of Libra as well, but the Emperor is Aries. And what is being called to you is to find your inner you, your leader. You step forward, find that again. Do the healing, step forward. If you've done the healing and the processing of all this that we're just mentioning, it's time to move forward. You're done. You need to release it, let it go. Don't hold on to it anymore. Empress is divinity, it's divine, feminine. The Emperor is the leader. I want to see what it looks like on the Oracle card for a minute. So it's, whether you're feminine or masculine, come into your divine feminine energy, your beauty, your aura, by focusing on you, and then move forward in that confidence. Now, while you're moving, because the Empress tends to allow things to flow a little bit more, the Emperor actually takes more action than the Empress. It may mean that before you go in full Emperor and find the Aries side of you, your identity, your leadership, your strong ability, is that you come into oneness and flow with yourself. Interesting, the Two of Cups popped out and the Lovers was next. With the cards that were here, with the Knight of Cups, the Queen of Cups, I was sensing there's a bit around death of, you know, toxic relationships. So there is a let go energy needed. There is also an energy of you've processed it now. Let the thing go so that you can really honor where you are. Let it go. The introspection is beautiful. It is what we need. But it's time for you to also let go and move on. So that's what I have for you, earth signs. We're going to move on to water. Water, your timestamp. So air is really the one that needs to, between air, earth, and now we're going to do water, that really needs to take action. We've got the Eight of Swords, the Lovers, and the Hierophant. Firstly, I really think that because of your readings, is that you need to release this victimization, your beliefs, whether it's around the people who have been sort of your community, family, friends, people you've grown up with, okay? Your past that's maybe hurt you, your framework, beliefs, anything that's caused you to feel stuck in your worries, in also what I believe is a lack of love for yourself. With the two levels, I'll go deeper into it, but a lack of love for yourself and worthiness. You need to release that. I felt it in some of your readings. And if you've not seen your March readings, do check them out. With the Lovers, I feel there's an option here that you did not take up. But the beautiful thing about this is I think you are realizing is that you need to surrender the worries and concerns that you have. And you're realizing there is a joy, there is love surrounding you. And this week you will get that if you're not feeling it. King of Swords. There's going to be a very strong intellectual counsel or energy around you. And this could be you operating from your logic and your heart space with the Lovers that gives you this clarity at the beginning of the week or midweek on some sort of option that you did not choose. Is this that you've kept yourself in a space where you've not been needed? You couldn't see at the time which was better option for you. Something you could not see clearly. And maybe this is to do with your own self-image, beliefs, past worries, concerns, victimization. And also I'm getting there could be a lot of people around you, and I'm not saying they're bad, but you don't need lots of people around you this week. For you to move forward, you don't need a lot of people around you this week. Because their ideas, their input, or if you start counseling with them, is not going to be the King of Swords of who you need. This mentor may come in for you, or it might be you that balances your logic and your heart space as opposed to just being stuck in victimization. But don't listen to people around you or counsel with the people around you unless you know they are of a King of Swords and a Hierophant. Some of you could be deciding to study something new, look into it. It might be to do with personal development even. But I believe it could also be to do with the two options that I mentioned. You've picked an option where now, maybe you picked an option because you felt anxiety towards one option. And now there's a call for you to revisit that other option. As much as it gives you anxiety, there's a call for you to go back to choose. And you do have a choice. It's not something that's gone out the window, so don't worry about that. There's a reason behind it. And you've kept yourself in this space when it wasn't needed. Is there something that you're not seeing clearly that's not been working out? As I say, that Seven of Wands, where you've continued to drill through and walk, continue to work on something where actually there's been quite a lot of competition. And again, this is around having a lot of people around you. And so you're trying to maintain this strong position that you're holding. But I think clarity will come through to you. Goddess of the Moon. We've got the Moon in Tarot. We've got it in here. I wanted to pull this card because I was trying to look at the image in the booklet of these cards to see if I could pick up something significant. We've got the Goddess of the Moon. So interesting, Virgo full moon may be quite significant for you. It will be for Pisces because Pisces, you are a mutable sign and the sun is in Pisces. The number 7 is significant, so confidence is really needed. Reflecting on this option or something that you're running away from. Surrendering your worries and concerns. Are you really stuck? Is there something that's not working out where you need to go back and see what the other option is that you didn't take? Are you really stuck, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces? Is it you that's keeping yourself stuck in sort of feeling this way or whatever place you're stuck in? It's never easy to see what's behind this, what's the new path, what is the outcome of the other option or choice. But you're going to get this new, fresh outlook move this week. Look, indecision. And I believe you had that because you were running away from a bit of anxiety that was causing you to look at the other one, the other option, the other choice, something. But you're going to get that new, fresh outlook. And what's beautiful here is that you're actually you're not forced by the universe in terms of timing here. But what it is saying is that the clarity around this is not coming now. It will come during this week. Queen of Pentacles, the breakthrough. Yeah. That's what I have for you, water signs. Further messages I want you to check. I want you to see what comes through for you. But this is actually more of a you flowing week. We only have the Hierophant, that is the major arcana. But it's not something that's giving you a divine timing. So the full moon was in Virgo was at 7:42 Eastern Time, 12:42 p.m. UK time, and sort of Middle East time it's around 4:42 on the 7th. Now either when you see this 8 p.m. or 8 a.m. may be significant this week for you to get a realization. But in general, between earth, air and yourselves, you guys, it's more or less your inner work as opposed to external forces causing you chaos, which is nice because I feel when there's external pushes and chaos and drama and issues, that's when it it can negatively or positively impact us. But when we hold it and we still have life going, flowing around us, I think we're in a stronger position to get to where we want to be. And you've got a choice here. It's about revisiting an option, revisiting something that you chose a different direction or you avoided because of how you were feeling. So that's nice for you water signs. Let's move on to fire. Where's my pen? Queen of Wands, your energy coming through. Lovers, I have been feeling that there is love on the horizon. 5 of Cups. You need to let go of something. You need to let go of maybe worthiness around thinking you're not worthy of love, whether you're in a partnership or relationship. You need to know and recognize who you are, the Queen of Wands, whether you're masculine or feminine. You're the Queen of Wands, and actually people see you in a very charismatic way, and you are beautiful. There is also protection here with the Lovers card. Is there a bit of lack mindset here that's holding you back from seeing the positive things that are around you? The stability that is coming in for you, or that is already around you. This could also mean, and I think I pulled it up for a couple of the signs, there's a divine counterpart that's going to make you feel more stable coming in. But remember, you need to feel stable yourself. Not rely on someone else. The new direction, an idea, contemplation, introspection, something that comes in, you need to pause and think about it. If it's a new lover, you can flow, but don't make any decisions. If you get asked to be, for marriage, unless you're 100% certain, as I say, unless you're 100% certain, which means no, there's something. You need to pause and reflect before you before you impulsively make any decisions for final outcomes. Not because there's something wrong, but there is something you need to listen to the universe before you kick in and move into a direction, an idea, a contemplation, a decision. Before you take that decision, and do some introspection, some inner work. There is something here about past energy that you need to let go. That is not clear for you at this moment in time. But you do feel it a little bit. You feel there's something you're not happy about, holding you back in some kind of way. And this past energy could be a mindset, could be a lack, could be an energy, could be people, could be ideas. But you need to make sure of it, and you need to make sure that before you make a decision, that you're not making a decision with ego, that there's no ego involved, that you've seen the finer details. The world is telling me a cycle is completing and new ones coming in. I feel that there's karmic release here. That you might get somebody who comes in like a past energy, that the universe tests you. Have you truly elevated to this person, that you are this new version of yourself? this is important, fire signs, or whoever's listening, and I feel like it could be for all the elements of different individuals that have seen the other elements, but this is very significant. The world is also telling us that let me clarify the world, because I'm getting something come through, but I want to make sure. Clarifying the world could be dealing, you could have strongly Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, Tower. The closing of a cycle, whether it's your beliefs, whether it's a karmic thing that needs to be released, is going out. The universe will either send you someone or something will come in to see if you have elevated from your either ego, past beliefs, lack beliefs, how you would normally react in the past. And if you pass that, if you pass this and not react from a closed off heart-centered space, and even if it's not that, if it's not someone, something, whether it's your own beliefs, there's a little test, or you're already there and the universe will step in to give you justice, this healing. You've got the moon and the star. I was wondering whether you'd get the Wheel of Fortune, to be honest, because I'm feeling it very strongly. Now remember, I said the universe will step in or someone will come to you. It could even be someone in a past form of, for example, if you're single and then you get this person who's crushing on you, but rarely you know that this is this is short-lived. Are you going to entertain it because at this time you're feeling desperate? This is just an example. Or some ego disruption, disagreement comes in to test you. And this test could be a tower moment where, you know, and it could be something that you're going through this week is actually you've just gone through it. So this week is about what's your test to the reaction of that tower. Maybe something was taken away from you. Something you've been working really hard on. The universe, it's a closed cycle. Your completion is coming in. The delivery of what you want is coming in. But there might just be a final thing where you're like, I thought I had a breakthrough here. I thought it came through. I thought I met somebody great. I thought I got that job offer. I was so convinced I did so well in that interview. I didn't get it. Maybe this week, some inner introspection, healing, making sure you don't react from a closed off heart center. Your chakras are aligned, you're healing. There's something that I wanted to pull up to see about the other oracle card, but I forgot when I pulled this book up, and that's why I paused. Yeah. So you know when I was saying the universe is going to test you to see if you've healed and elevated, that's what this star also helps. The star is personal growth, spirituality, what you've done to elevate. And that's where it's, you know, I'm telling you it's coming into test. But this is also telling you what you've been putting hard work into, the universe delivers. And that's where I said the universe steps in. The karmic release on what needs to go goes. It could be a relationship, it could be a business, it could be anything. I don't really want to pull another card, but Three of Pentacles, if it makes any sense to you. For some of you, it's about the people around you. It's about your community. It could be about the collaboration. It could be the job offer, the new team, the department, whatever it is. That's what I have for you, fire signs. You'll have to let me know how it resonates, but it's beautiful that you've got this World card, because it says your cycle is complete and the universe is stepping in with the new. And it could be lovers. You've got the Lovers card here. It could be any area in life. Don't look back, don't get nostalgic. It's very easy when we're feeling like, when we're feeling confident we're going to have a breakthrough on something or someone or whatever it is, to then look back and get nostalgic as well. Not only react in our past way, but also get nostalgic. So let's see how this week goes for us. I hope we all have a beautiful week. Stay looking out for Mars sextile Venus as well, Venus sextile Mars. Let me know how that goes in the weekend. I'll also let you know if someone makes a comment. I'll also let you know how it plays out for me. So I hope you enjoyed our weekly astrology together, and leave me a like, a comment. Feel free to subscribe as well, and it will help support the channel and the work and the energy that I channel into the readings, which you can tell from my voice. And I'll see you in our next videos. Check your monthly readings, and every couple of days there's stuff for your signs and themes and readings. Take care of yourselves. Bye for now.